Welcome to the episode 1 of the RoyalTea Podcast. Thank you for joining us and going on this journey with us. We're committed to positivity, unity, and prosperity of the Black community on a global level. We're not afraid to have the difficult conversation and using this platform to showcase the beauty of different perspectives and how we can still unite for a common goal. With that being said, let's jump right into our topic. Kings, this podcast is in honor of you for Valentine's Day. Queens, love, myths, and the mysteries. With us we have T. Okay.
Queen Q.
Tasha.
Queen Cam.
And I'm Shara, of course.
All right, so let's just jump right on in.
So one of the first common myths I want to bring up is...
Myths? We're doing myths first.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Ooh, we're doing myths. Hey.
Oh. Let's get to it.
So what's some common myths? I guess we're going, we're here to help educate the kings because we've heard a lot of myths about, women in general. And so we're going to help them out on this good Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Dispel some stuff. Inches do matter? Oh, okay. No. We're not there yet? Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So, women don't get along.
Carrots, too. Carrots matter. No.
Cucumbers
Okay,
and
sorry.
carrots.
Hey, I was just talking about diamonds. But
Oh,
wait.
okay.
Focus.
Respect the cause. Respect the cause.
Oh, yeah.
So women don't get along.
Love, myth, love. Okay.
So do y'all think women do get along, don't get along? Y'all think this is truth?
I think oftentimes men hear the chatty conversation of women, especially us as Black women, we're very passionate. And so people will misconstrue that passion as not getting along when we just have differences of opinions. And so I think we do get along. I think when you look at the positivity of women and how we do the, go girl, all of that stems from us.
So do you feel like that holds true when there's men involved? Or does a competitive spirit typically come out?
When men are involved
like we go girl and this and that, and so you looking at my man.
Oh yeah, we need to hold up a second. We're like, what you mean by the looking at
that's
him?
natural reflex.
Yeah.
It's okay to admire, but it should be a respect overall.
Right.
So
Right.
y'all think, Tosh?
I don't think that's like not getting along. Maybe that's just having a difference on something. But when I hear you say we don't get along, like we can't sit together and have a peaceful conversation or get together and not go a certain amount of time without arguing or fighting.
Okay.
But if you have a difference on something, I think that's different from we're not able to get along. That's something different.
I agree.
Yeah.
For me, just in my normal settings, I feel like women always get along. I'm not naive enough to think that you don't have a different type of woman. And sometimes I think that, like you say, competitive natures tend to come up. We can be vicious with our tongues. So, and I think that's just across the board. So if that's the case, women just don't get along with anybody when we decide to
lash out.
From our passion and stuff. So we could be talking in a conversation and someone could look over and think we're arguing or we about to really get into it, but we're just both passionate about whatever we're discussing.
Right.
And whether we agree or disagree, we lashing it out and having it, then we'll go and have a cup of tea.
Right.
So I think women get along for the most part.
So men, y'all hear that? We get along. So
That's why we like to go to the bathroom together to talk about y'all.
Are we talking about them or are we fixing our lips?
We're actually fixing our lips. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Just
People don't
getting
realize
our makeup back together.
They think a lot of stuff happen in the bathroom that really just does
Just
not happen.
Just trying to knock the oil off. So,
Right.
Girl,
Girl, I look shiny.
Yes.
Can you see my panty line?
Right.
What does this look like? Okay.
Pull
you
the
know?
spank up, squeeze me back in.
Zip me back in this.
I just need to pee. Can you hold my purse?
Right.
And if you have that snap at the crotch, you
Oh
take a look.
my.
Yes.
Yeah, see, they don't even know about that.
Yeah,
Snap
that's why
at the crotch.
that's why we're in there so long.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's right. We need help.
You know, that's a myth.
Checklist.
Y'all think it all just comes like this.
It does.
So I see another common myth, especially when it comes to romance. Like, men can be so unoriginal because they think that, you know, and I think this is where knowing your woman is so very, very important. Because we all don't like with Valentine's Day coming up, we all, me, don't like flowers and candy.
I'm allergic. Let's
Keep
just be
that
honest.
I like it from my dad because he started that tradition from when I was young. But from my
True.
lover or someone I'm interested in, quality time is my love language. So I would
amen.
rather something like that, or you trying to cook, and I'd have to eat it and
My
eat as much as I
kitchen.
can, and then give Foxy some. But just the effort. So I rather something that's more thoughtful. I think now it's so commercialized. They start in January with Valentine's everywhere, and it's commercial. It's more and more
Right after
expensive.
Halloween, they're
My
going from
main
one
thing
candy
is
to the
the
next.
expense of the expense spent is not
Right.
necessarily capturing what I need. Rather, it's just the quality time, or something little and sweet. Now you can send something to the workplace. So
That's
Well, I
nice.
think that's it. I think that, okay, so whether you like flowers, whether you like candy, we can all agree that women like to stun at work.
Yeah.
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 They love to stun
I
at
don't
work.
think it's necessarily wanting to stun at work. I just think that we want other people to know that we're loved.
Yeah, the feeling of appreciation and
Yeah.
hey, let her see.
Like,
over
my
there
man
that
loves
thing.
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
I am
okay.
loved.
That's what it
Yeah.
is?
You can't
Yeah.
treat me any kind of way because I have someone in my life who
So
loves
it's not
me.
like one of those, your man ain't
Aw.
shit, but let me show you what your man is. That's not what's going on.
My man
Maybe a
loves
little
me.
that too.
Just saying.
He loves me,
That's
so
a
you
lot
cannot
of
treat me
men.
any kind of way.
That's a lot of men because a lot of women don't get anything.
Well, I mean, what about your work husbands? What happens when your work husband
I don't
sends you
believe in
stuff?
work husband.
Oh, I am so for the work husband.
Yes, who gonna get that lunch?
Shout out
I
to my
mean,
work
baby
husband.
daddy, work
Yes.
husband, all of those. I love all that.
My work husband takes care of me.
Yes,
I'm sorry.
I
I
have
love
to.
my work husband.
I don't believe in a work husband. I
Me and
think
his
that
wife,
the
we call
line-
each other sister wives because that's the only man I share. Yeah. Sister wives. That's it. That's the extent of it. Because I send him home after 4 or 5 o'clock.
Because
Go ahead.
I'm blessed to work in a field of mostly men. I have a lot of work husbands.
Right.
And so, it's important that everybody kind of knows what Crystal likes. That's,
Speaking of,
she
Christmas
likes chocolate
was
covered
amazing
strawberries,
for
not
me.
roses.
Y'all, let me tell you something. Work husbands are bomb. Christmas was amazing for me. Yeah.
You
My
came
work
through?
husbands did. They went to the Louis Vuitton store.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, they would not have been able to go home to their real wives had they purchased anything. But they stopped by that store and got me a gift certificate.
Okay.
Amazon,
Okay.
Yes,
Zillow.
work husbands.
Yeah, work husbands are amazing.
Speaking of
Don't
men,
cheat yourself.
speaking of men, what do y'all think about the myth that black women don't support black men?
No,
And-
one of my work husbands white.
Because a lot of men complains that they're not supported or by the black woman or
I think that, now that this Me Too movement, women are making a lot more money.
Okay.
I think that men have that perception that we're not supporting them because we're making more money. But I'm with you. Like,
Right.
we're together. And whatever we bring to the table is what we have.
Oh, wait.
Whatever we bring to the table is what we have. Says the lady who is struggling in church. Somebody get a water fan or something.
It's up.
Get a church
But
peppermint.
you have
It's like
to.
community property. I'm just
I
saying.
think that they are being blinded by the dollar sign of what might be on my check to think that I'm not supporting them. I'm with you.
I believe in the man
We're-
being the
we're on
man.
the
I
team.
support that.
Absolutely.
I believe man
if
being
your
the head
100% is 100%.
and being a provider. Now, I will not stretch my man. I'm not going to stretch. Okay, so here's the thing. My man makes $45,000 a year. I'm going to appreciate our $45,000 a year budget that he provides
See?
for me.
Yes.
But that's that $45,000. That's not our combined salaries.
Hello.
Well,
Oh,
now,
but you said we. I just was trying
but
to figure
that goes back to the definition of support. I mean, I got your back. I'm gonna help you with your dream. I'm gonna listen
Right.
to your stupid rap song. I'm gonna,
I will not.
be there for you. But support. Now, I'm not gonna take
Wait,
care of
hold
you
on.
and
I didn't know we were
feed
talking
you.
about
You know, because
47-year-old rapper.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna keep taking care of you, and you sitting up here eating cereal, because you got this dream about being
Yeah,
a
no,
rapper.
that's
so
a
that's
different
not
kind of support.
That's not support.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
so
enabling.
That's enabling.
That's
Yeah,
enabling,
yeah.
and that's taking care.
Yeah,
of
I'm not there
that's
for
a
that.
boy child.
Yeah.
So that's that. If that's what they mean, then no, that
Okay.
I don't support. But no, I got your back. I'll lift you up. I pray with you. I mission plan. I go to you,
Right.
whatever trial and error.
Be your
I
peace.
roll with you.
Let me tell you
You know.
something. I'm gonna wear my man's #1 jersey.
Mhm.
I don't care if he have 3 fans. I'm the first one.
Yeah.
She the one in the video. Did it, Bobby? No.
Hey, one of them songs might pop out. Now I want to hear that talk about, hey, cuz, no, we're not
No.
cousins because I was the only one here.
42
I was leaving in the gym.
No, 42 the year perfect vision is not that you're gonna be a rapper. No, maybe a producer. You can work with something like that, but no, create a beat. No, but you're not gonna be in no jersey. No, but anyway, that's, I digress.
Ageism, ladies.
Speaking of age, speaking of age, so there's this other myth. If you're not married by a certain age, that something is wrong with you.
Who said I wanted to get married? Who said I didn't want to hoe all my life?
Oprah made it all right.
Hello? And Stedman looks very happy.
I would probably
As an
say I'm
accessory.
39 years old. Black don't crack. I'm not married. Nothing is wrong with me. I met a lot of them that things were wrong or we just didn't get along. But I don't. I think that's a myth that something is wrong with you. If you're not married by that certain age, I think you haven't found compatibility, or even as much as you may have missed that one that was there for you. But
Right.
I don't like it. Things have changed that I've gotten older. Maybe I'm just more sensitive. It turns into why you not married or how many kids you got, instead of asking me, you know, do you have or such and such. But yeah.
Right.
I think that, I know for me, it's not necessarily, well, of course there's nothing wrong with me. I mean, look at me. But I think that was never my goal until I got to a point where I was like, okay, now I want to do this.
Right.
You know, and I still ask myself why I got to that point. Kind of had a Beyonce moment. I should have never put this ring on. But when I was in my 20s, I was the friend that always said I wasn't going to get married and have kids. I just didn't see a point. It just didn't really tie into what I saw for myself. Like, I'm good. It also has to do with the fact that I'm working on it now, but I'm very selfish when it comes to my time. Nothing else, just my time. And then you get older. Parents get older. Just things start to happen, and you start to say, you know what? Yeah, this single girl stuff, it's about time I kind of give it up. It's good to have a family. It's good to have a partner. It's good to have somebody to like share with and do stuff with, right? Especially with having aging parents and stuff like that, you need somebody to be like, okay, because we as women, we overextend ourselves a lot,
Right.
and so just to have that support to say, okay, baby, you didn't have enough, get you some rest, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think that it's so much. A lot of women just can't keep a man. That's another one. Can't find a man. They got men everywhere.
Well, it could be that you spent a lot of time in relationships that didn't work, but not because of anything that you did. Maybe because it was something that the other person did, the other man or whatever. So when you get to a certain age and people say, oh, well, what's wrong with you because you're a certain age and you're not married, it's not necessarily a reflection on you.
Right.
Maybe it's just your experience with other men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I agree with that. We're nurturing. We may hold on longer than we need to in relationships.
I was about to say, that's what
But
we
at
didn't do.
this age,
Let it
yeah,
go.
Yeah, I'm learning, hey, if it's,
Yeah.
you know, at a certain age, the person should be at a certain level. You know, and that's not even like materialistic or financial, just like mentally, you know,
Right.
to grow
Mature level.
equally yoked. So if they're not going in the same direction I'm heading in, you know, it's okay to part. It's, you know, I'm not fixing. And, you know, everybody needs work. I need work, but I'm not fixing one. Not at 39.
Well,
So that's a good one. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, kind of just hinge off of what you're saying, in that I don't expect a man to come to me at the age that I am
Yeah.
with potential.
Right.
I'm moving in my purpose.
Right.
And at some point in time, he need or should have been
Right.
walking in his.
Right.
And we'll meet there. I don't think that you know, we're not 20 years old where you're
Yeah.
finding yourself as a rapper and
Right.
maybe an artist or
Yeah.
maybe a veterinarian or whatever. You know, he's hasn't found in life what he wants. And then you expect when you show up in my life that I'm supposed to accept
Just
the
what-
garbage bag that you're dragging along of potential.
Right.
I'm gonna need you to at least come with a suitcase
Garbage
packed
bag?
of some understanding.
Well, that's okay. I do want to kind of touch on, because we keep bringing it up. Okay, I'm a person that does not believe there's an age limit on dreams. So
I agree.
we keep picking on the 40-year-old rapper because look, typically we all know somebody who's still trying to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Still trying to pursue that.
Ain't paid
actual-
child support, but that's neither here nor there. But they can rap.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, you have men who have, we don't know people's lives. And so they may have gone through their 20s being a provider, taking care of their kids, working a job, this, and that, and now they have some more free time. So they're getting into, okay, I want to
Actually
pursue my dream, my passion. Y'all telling me y'all can't get with that?
Oh, no, absolutely.
No, it's a difference between pursuing your passion and then one thing like, oh, I want to be a rapper, but you're sitting on the couch and you're not doing nothing towards it. Like, are you working to your dream? Are you working towards your path?
Okay.
So
Right.
and that's what I think we were talking about, like with the maturity in it,
Right.
So, and that's even with the relationship. You can say you want a relationship all you want, but are you doing the work? Are you, doing the work to keep her? Are you doing the work to keep him to make this relationship work? So long as you're working towards something, that's different. Like, I think that's more than potential.
That's more than
Versus-
potential,
yeah.
right.
So that segue great to my second point.
Mhm.
Do black women know how to be submissive? And shut our mouths.
Yes, we do. But I will say, I'm not following a blind man. I'm not walking in circles with somebody. I do believe a man should lead, and I'm okay being submissive. But give me something to be submissive to, And just, are you going to be that man that I need to follow? And if you are being that man, hey, I'm walking in the stilettos right behind you.
I actually
But
had a
give-
man to ask me,
Uh-huh.
was I ready to be submissive? And I had to question him, is this some backwards way of asking me to marry you? I'm confused about what you're asking. And I had to inform him that my submission is a gift.
Mhm.
It's not anything you can ask me for. You're awarded my submission, my trust, because that's what comes along with it. When I see that you're worthy of it and I can trust you with it, my submissive nature is far stronger than my very strong aggressive nature. And so because of that, if I can trust you with it, then it's yours. But don't you dare ask me for my submission.
Well, I feel like if you gotta ask,
You already
Yeah,
know the
yeah,
answer.
right,
Yes, right.
what is submission though? Like, I hear that word, that and toxic masculinity are two
Oh
words
my
that like it's like nails on a
gosh.
chalkboard to me.
Yeah.
And well, see, that's the thing. So, I get two different things. So, I was speaking to a guy. His idea of submission, he just wanted a doormat, basically someone that was just gonna take what he do.
Yeah.
You
Do
know,
what I
he can
say.
have his side chicks come and go what he want. Pretty much. No respect, no boundaries of what you're gonna do. Now, I think a real man, a real king, you're gonna want to follow anyway because he's a leader by nature. He's a leader by what he's doing. He's a leader by character, and that's just like a king. A king don't have to say he's king. You can just tell by his family and who's
The way he
leading
carries
them
himself,
that
right.
she's gonna want to follow and adhere. So that's also misconstrued. It's usually misused in the Bible. Like, okay, you got to do what I say. You my slave, and you're under me. But I think a king, his real woman, his lady,
Yeah.
she's on that realm. She's already up on that pedestal, and I don't think he would abuse it, if he has the right intentions of it.
So your 20 years over there, what was submission in your marriage?
Submission in my marriage was a learned thing. Although I was raised with both parents in the household,
Shout out to two-parent home.
hallelujah, I didn't understand when I saw my mother being submissive to my father, what that meant. What submission
gosh.
means is I love you and I trust you. And what was required of their marriage wasn't what was required of mine.
Okay.
I was able to walk my own path. I understood what the basis of marriage was: one man, one woman for us in my household. And my submission to my husband was that if he needed anything, I would be there to get it, to make it happen, to make this bridge, lay these tiles in this bridge so that it was smooth, to ease his way.
Okay.
He led. He was my king. and he paid all the bills. And
Okay.
but we had a shared responsibility for our household. And there came a point in time in life where he couldn't work anymore.
Okay.
So then what do? Well, you step up and you say, King, I have us.
Yeah.
I got it. And he trusted me, and he was never submissive to me. I was always, I understood he would let me go. He let my reins go when I want to yap and get angry and yell about something that I didn't agree with. And I mean, not towards him, but
Right.
to a scenario or situation. And then when he felt like I had had enough, he'd be like, hey babe, you good? I'm good, thank you for that.
Okay.
And so submission allowed me to be fully my full flower, my full self. And yet I had the umbrella of protection so that I would never be trampled upon.
Okay.
So, I think a lot of people think submission is tied in with, and you touched on it a little bit, on being the breadwinner. He who makes the most money makes the rules. I just don't think in relationships that actually.
That doesn't work for me.
Right.
I think
I'm more equal. I'm not equal in giving. Now you gotta have a job. Period. Tyrone, you gotta have a job. I always say, but I'm not necessarily equal in giving. I'm equal in sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because it's the dynamics have changed since back in the day. I'm an educated black woman, so my chances of making more money than my mate are high. But that doesn't mean that you're any less. Like if what you're doing and that's your passion and you're doing something that's legit and but I want the sacrifice, the same effort that you're putting on.
I think whatever your definition of submission is, your partner or your spouse or your mate should have the same definition.
Yeah.
Whatever you think that is, you have to agree on that.
Right.
Otherwise, you won't understand that person is trying to be submissive. And I think that plays a part into some of the other myths, like we don't know how to support black men, that
Right.
kind of thing. It's because we're not seeing eye to eye.
I think they also are sensitive when we hold them accountable.
Right.
I think that sometimes, and once again, I do agree that, we as women, I know I have to be cautious with my mouth. I'm very direct. And so I can't bring corporate Cambry home because those two are two separate entities.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
At work, I have to be in charge. I have to be in control.
Right.
I have to be, when I come home, I should be able to relax and be like, okay, he got this. But at the same time, just because something doesn't go the way I want it to go, and we all know I'm very particular, I can't then just,
Yeah.
Snap
it
out.
has to be a way of, it has to be a way of saying, okay, look, we agreed on this. This is what we said we were going to do, or you told me this. And now I'm saying, hey, well, babe, you dropping the ball in a way that's loving. But it still has to be, I still feel like I should be able to hold you accountable.
Right.
In a loving manner. And I think sometimes men, when you hold them accountable, especially when it's something they do not want to be held accountable for, then it's like, oh, well, here you go.
Right.
And when you say that,
You don't know how to be submissive.
Well,
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean, you all of a sudden become a nagging wife.
right.
But the thing is, for us, we are taught to be communicators,
Right.
express how we feel. We're allowed to cry. It's been okay as women growing up to be, soft. If a man displays anything that might symbolize that side, then they're weak. They're not real men, not real kings. But with your spouse, he's supposed to be able to be his most vulnerable self
Yeah.
with you. It's not for the world to see, because he does have to walk in pride. He does have to walk with his head high. And, he has the battles that he has to face being the black king, or that I'm talking about. And so, in order to do that, it's a lot that he has to face. And so I can't allow him to come home and then I'm the one that's berating him and beating him down too. The Bible's mentions something about it's better to live on the corner of a roof than to live in the house with a nagging wife. What? To live on the roof? On the corner?
We have
That's
black
something.
mothers.
It should be peace in the home.
It
It should be a home.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but peace
To
and
start
home. But I think it, like you said, agreement. agreement on what our like I think people try to bring other people's relationship goals.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another one that's like nails on chalkboard and standards into their own home.
You have to
And
do
I'm
what works for
what
y'all.
works for me.
Right.
It's
Right.
not going, you know.
Yeah.
And husband, understand that I love you, and so because I've expressed to you how I feel and what makes me feel loved, doesn't mean that I'm nagging you.
Right.
I just want you to be able to love me at my best potential,
Right.
because I am doing everything I can to love you at yours.
Well, love languages.
But
And
that
she
go-
touched
yeah,
on it.
that
And
goes
I
back
think,
to that.
I think that people, first of all, if you don't know love languages, take
Find
the
out.
test.
Yeah.
Find out your love language.
And your mates. I
right,
mean,
and your mates,
it makes
because
total
this is the
sense.
thing.
You can't buy him gifts.
Right. If it's
that's
if
what
it's
he
words
wants.
of
If he
affirmation.
wants, yeah,
And
quality
here's the
time.
thing. I think a lot of times people give love language in the way they give
That-
love in
that
the
they
way they want
wanna
to
receive
receive
it.
it.
Yeah.
So I know I struggle with that because mine is quality time. That man ain't trying to spend. Not that he's not trying to spend time, but like his is acts of service. So no matter how much I'm like, well, babe, I planned a cute day. He like, okay, that's cute, but that's not really what.
Yeah.
And he like, well, I washed the car. Like, okay,
It was dirty.
it was dirty.
It's Saturday.
And so it comes off with I'm unappreciative, you unappreciative, but we're just not communicating in the love language that we receive in. And so just being more mindful that you have to know your partner's love language and you have to do the things that they
Please them.
are going to receive love
Yeah.
in and feel, you know,
feel love.
feel love.
Yeah.
And fellas, you have to return the favor.
Yes. And
Right.
that's what comes with studying your mate and knowing your
Consistency.
mate. And, yeah.
Right.
Consistency. Ask questions. If y'all don't know, don't go on a whim. Ask questions. Ask her what she wants, or ask her how she feels. Or, you know.
And ladies, don't be so tied up in, I'm sick of him asking me what I
Yeah.
want all the time.
Yeah.
Answer
Ask
him.
me.
I'm picky, so I'm like,
Please
because
Ask me.
Right. If I asked you for Doritos and you brought me Cheetos, I'm gonna feel some kind of way.
Yeah.
Right.
Because today I was feeling like Doritos.
Yeah. And ladies need to
Yeah.
listen as they're asking questions, because
Right.
guys don't always ask in a direct
Well,
way.
we still
as
kind
well.
of we think that all men are the same. Men think all women want the same thing.
Right.
But me as women, we
No.
have this perception that all
don't
men.
bang on me.
I
Oh,
don't think
Yeah.
so.
sorry.
Oh,
No,
they want a few things. Go with your
Yeah.
legs being split. Now let's be real.
I don't
He
know.
won't. Come on now.
No.
He don't want?
No. My man do. I don't know what he does. But I have
The
had
goal is
conversations
the
with guys, and we know quite a few of them that communicate like women. Well, let me not say that. That's wrong. They're good communicators.
Good
they can
communicators.
talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so
They're
physical
comfortable
touch
with
is not
communicating.
necessarily every man's first
First
love
love
language.
language.
No,
I
but it's
agree.
one of them.
Oh,
It's
yes,
most definitely one of
yes.
them.
Listen, I mean, to be my partner, that's going to be necessary.
Yeah, because
Yes,
yeah,
'cause
I need you to
it
be
falls
that.
it falls in line with my
Yeah.
quality time and physical touch,
Yeah.
and those go hand in hand when we're talking about making love.
Right.
So
Oh, that's what we do.
To be honest, some women maybe
Often,
don't
yeah.
submit because some people see submission as being weak.
Or control.
So, right, or if they attempt to submit and to change their ways, they
Or-
get beat down further.
Or
You
if they're
don't
not
see-
healed from the previous relationship,
Right.
or they
You don't see
submitted
that
and laid down and
And my
Great
got
submission-
walked on.
Yeah.
I think
then
everybody
they
should take time to
carry
heal.
that over.
Yeah.
Both.
right,
Because I don't want to hear
introduce
about
yourself.
what Keisha did to you. I just,
Right.
I'm not
And
Keisha.
I don't want to be guilty of anything
Right.
that you thought, how you thought my response would go this way because Keisha responded that way.
Right.
I'm not like her, and I'm not even sweating the small stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm on this big thing,
Right.
and so that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But that's just it. People, both sides need to take the time to heal. Communication and actually doing the internal work will go so much further in a lot of relationships, because if I don't know my triggers, or if I haven't taken the time to heal,
Right.
you know, I have a big trigger, but I let people know that out the gate, you can't talk to me roughly.
Yeah. And speak on, and it needs to be spoke on early. Don't wait
Right.
till a year and a half when y'all, bumping heads. Then y'all
Right.
want to bring up, oh, well, we're 2 months into the marriage. Well, I didn't like this. What?
You
Speak
should
on
say
it.
that.
Yeah, speak
then.
on it as
Right.
a girl so we can
Right.
correct those things and work on those things.
So now we're gonna get into what women like to take over. Are women controlling?
But men like be controlled in certain instances.
How so?
Okay.
I mean, I think so. In a certain extent, they want you to be in your
What
mom.
50 Shades of Grey you watch?
What men? I know some men. I had heard what I had heard. It was some men like to be
Found
controlled.
out you out here gag bowling.
Hey, I am the please.
I love it.
But no, I think men do like some sense of control and knowing
Being controlled.
being controlled in a sense. They may not admit to it, or even it's not even necessarily control. I would say like more nurturing, like they want you to help with getting their clothes together or get this good, kind of prep.
I
them
would
and stuff
say
like
that
nature.
men will push to that edge of the cliff to see if you have a backbone
Yeah.
to say, hey, okay, no, what you not finna do, or it's
Yeah.
not gonna go like that. I would say that
That's both
in the
sexy.
sense of they can't run over you,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
also helps them be secure that others are not gonna do it. Far as the whole controlling thing, my past experiences trying to control a man is like wrestling a pig.
Yeah.
It just backfires. It doesn't work. It's exhausting. It's just negative. Once it gets to that point where I have to control you and make you and force you to get something, it's not good for me. Because
Right.
then I feel like I'm adult babysitting. And then, us women, everything else is off.
Right.
So it just shuts down. It doesn't work for me for control. Especially at this, where I am now. I'm just to the point, it ain't no make ready. Some things are just deal breakers for me. I think you should have your own self-control and your own discipline and your own direction,
Like we were saying before, women are passionate, and sometimes we just want it to be right. And we're not trying to boss you or tell you what to do or have control over
And
the
we
situation.
be right, though.
We do. We
And they
always
know we
right.
I
We
told
looking
you
out
don't go
for
down
us.
there.
We have that intuition. We be right. We have that sense. We can see it coming,
Oh, yeah. And don't you love it when you know you're right and they have to come back with that real humble?
Yeah.
I'll be like,
Ladies, be bigger girls and don't say I told
Okay,
you
so
so.
y'all see
he-
who the big sis is, because I don't be trying to hear half of what
got
she
a little
was talking
little
about.
pettiness going on.
He
yeah.
scrubbed his knees.
I'm
Let him
very
just
petty.
woo woo woo. Let him go.
Nah, can't
All
we
right.
not let them make
Nah.
it that easy.
That's them 20
I'm a
years
woo.
talking.
Right. I'm a woo 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 you after I go in and be
Yeah,
like,
it's okay. No, I mean sometimes we do need to square up. Not really square up, ladies. Not really square up, but
oh,
sometimes
no, we don't. Yeah, please.
not
Yeah.
physically
Let me
square
explain
up.
something.
Girl,
Got
that
to
ain't
be all
cross.
of that. Y'all do not. Unless y'all on some 50 Shades of Grey, whips, chains, handcuffs.
And I'm
what
all
you
for
do
that for you.
Yes.
For you, what you do in your bedroom is your
Right.
business. But if y'all gotta fight, like that's one thing. The
That's
toxicness.
like-
If it gets to the level
No.
of y'all screaming at each other, calling each other out your names,
No.
putting your hands on people.
We've gone too
I've
far.
heard, and now here's the thing. I've heard this saying countless of times. Men like crazy women because they swear the sex is better. Ain't that much good sex in the world to be around here punching nobody. No, it's just not on both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, my girl gonna set it off. That's not cute to me.
What
No,
is
at that
male
point, they're both out of
toxicity?
control.
Yeah.
What does
Everyone's
that
out of
actually mean? Male
Right.
toxicity or
Toxic masculinity.
or whatever
well,
that
first
is.
of all, I think you need to define masculinity before you can tell me what's toxic. I think
Right.
that is a term
What-
created by women who don't have fathers and live in a fairy tale. But that's just can't work.
Fatherless man.
And I'm sure all of y'all ladies, whoever listening, gonna be mad at me for saying that. But that's
but what would be
Example of
an example of that?
So what is normally said by toxic masculinity is traits of masculinity that have been used to oppress women. For instance, the rape culture. If
Yeah.
you're being sexually harassed at work and you go to complain, oh, that's just men being men. Oh, you know how
Okay.
whatchamacallit is. Oh, da-da-da-da-da.
They can be aggressive.
They can be very
It's
aggressive.
okay.
That's just how he is.
Correct. That's
right.
just how it is. Boys will be boys. What did she have on, or what she was asking to be raped because of what
Yeah.
she was wearing?
Right.
No means no, in any language, any form. And I teach. If she say no the first time, don't try to change her mind.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right.
Too many.
Yeah, you got lotion. Go ahead. Take care of yourself.
Left-handed,
and go-
right-handed, that a blessing.
Yeah,
Jargon.
it's what you got to do.
Wax
And
off.
because it's better than you're gonna be doing that for 15 years in jail.
Right. Well,
'Cause they-
Bubba Skillet Leroy might have a little say in that.
But no, because women, and I've seen it countless amount of time, women have morning after the regrets that are rape.
Right.
So just the first no, but we're not even gonna talk
Yeah,
about that.
not at all.
That's-
So what are some of
Heavy.
Yes.
what are some of the sex myths that you believe men have? My personal issue that I have is that, in my opinion, men try to
Compensate?
be intimate with women the same way as they would with the same with every chick. Like, everybody don't like to be banged on.
Right.
You
Don't try
know.
to break my hips.
So that's the issue. Like you cannot. Yeah, it's like riding a bike, but you ain't gotta ride that bike. You know the same way with everybody else.
I think sometimes some of that is compensation, because like I find especially
Overcompensation.
like if you don't have the inches, don't
they
try
pushing
to
and not
use your
putting.
weights to do the job. And, yeah, I'm not a trampoline. I'm gonna need you to be good with your mouth.
As long as you have rhythm,
Hello.
they have to have rhythm.
Too
Rhythm,
right.
even if you don't have the inches,
So-
rhythm and
So
a good
so is
tongue
it all
palate.
about? So is
Good
it all
tongue
about?
palate.
Yeah, is it all about inches though?
For me.
It's a lot about inches. It's a lot
For
about
me.
inches.
So is that true?
But
Size
see, that's
matters?
Inches lives
no,
matter.
because I've
Size.
been. Oh, I'm finna tell on myself. But no, because I've been with someone that was well endowed and
He didn't know what to do with it.
Child, no, it was
Yeah.
horrible. Like
Yeah.
it was just like explosive, like a volcano. Like tame this thing, and then
Wait.
I would like to be a flower.
and then I've been with someone that's average, and it was like I said, rhythm and
Mom, I'm a virgin. I
and
don't know
different
anything
stuff.
about any
Yeah.
of this.
You know what I would
Allegedly,
say? You know what I would
so
say?
I've heard.
I think that men, their idea of what's large or not is kind of rolled down to us and our ideas of what's average. Because they only really get to see themselves unless they're in a locker room with other men. You know,
They watch porn.
But see, that's part of the
But-
issue.
but porn-
that I was gonna
but
bring up.
porn-
Porn is part of the
everybody's
issue.
not
because
Michael Coulter
but-
Idris Elba. Everybody don't come packaged.
yeah.
But
in
I
that
think that's
type
part of the
package.
problem, though. They watch porn, and depending what category you watch or what you watching, everybody does not want that, And
Not only that, but you're not that successful in this.
But
Like
this is
they
it.
wouldn't have hired you.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is the thing I think men misunderstand. They think watching porn is sex. It's not lovemaking.
Yeah.
It's not.
So they watch porn and then they give you the porn versus the
Bum, bum, bum,
lovemaking.
bum, bum, bum,
Yeah.
It don't last this long either.
bum, chicka, wow, wow.
It's because it's edited. Those people take water breaks.
Right.
Just saying.
Well, I mean, you can
Shout
watch it.
out
It's
to
a
the
reel over
cameraman.
reel. It's
So,
it's the same.
Yeah.
no, I mean they have. I've heard. Amateur. That
Somebody
shout out
I
to the
know.
cameraman.
Shout out to the
You
cameraman.
know, iPhone X. But I just think that has kind of changed things. Instead of asking a woman what she wants, men and I know it's pride and macho and testosterone. They just know how to please you, and I'm like, no.
And
Who taught you that?
and
Keep
on-
your hands to yourself.
Like your fingers.
yes, like
To yourself.
so, and then like I said, it's a lot of wrong stuff. It's kind of like you ask about sex from your friends, and what they tell you, that's law to you, and it's
Right.
not necessarily right or wrong. And I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm just saying every woman does. You don't want the same thing.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
my whole point.
Every woman doesn't,
And I think that men should have to show ID when they purchase a Magnum, like physical ID, because
Hey, because somebody's been lying.
Yes.
to these people.
yeah, girls quit lying.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's not supposed to
okay.
be
It's
loose.
all right if he ain't
So do all
Django.
women fake it? Have y'all ever faked? Have you ever faked it?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
you've never faked it. You've
I
never
just
faked
like
it.
I have,
flowers and
I have
candy.
faked it.
Wait, what?
That was
Not
just
playing
for
with you.
Camry. I just
hate-
like flowers and
I
candy.
hate flowers and candy, but
Yes, I faked it. I faked it because I cared about him.
Because you don't want to hurt
I didn't
want to
hurt his feelings. And a male's ego
But at the
is
same
so
time-
hard to build back up once you pierced it.
You can train them to kind of get what you want.
Train your dragon.
Yeah, you can.
You can train.
You can train him.
You can.
you can train them, but I can't fake it. I'm gonna tell you to come on up.
But think about
I
it.
had one that almost turned me off for a sex. I was like, come on. Just don't.
Well, and in that case, maybe he did need to have a conversation.
Yeah, just-
Let's sit
I
down
don't know
and
what
talk
you're
about
doing.
this thing for
Yeah,
a second.
taught you that. As a matter of fact,
Stop it.
That's why
I'm
I
like
married
TK
him.
Kirkland. Who raised you?
Yes.
Where did you get
Baby,
this
that's
from?
not right. It's not right.
No.
Watch this porn if that's the one that you
Yeah, be gentle. Be gentle.
You know,
This is
it's
a
so
delicate
funny.
flower.
I don't know.
We're all
Right.
well-read women. Read
Yes,
Zane,
one Elin Harris.
anybody.
Rita Clark.
Elaine Harris will take you to a different
Well, I mean,
You
hey,
be like, oh boy, with them
That's-
pants, them
that's-
pants on.
Just catch, listen, just catch one little romance novel, hide it somewhere in your
Well,
pocket,
since we on this topic,
and don't tell nobody, and you'll learn some things.
bisexual men, are y'all open to bisexual men?
Negative. Who,
in
for
my
the-
opinion, if it's
What?
I'll come against it.
For the 2020? No.
1999,
It's okay,
2000
but
either.
just not with me. So
It's
yeah.
not my thing. Me personally, it's gonna bother me every time I look at you. You might twitch, you might move your lips, even with you slurping your cereal. I'm gonna just no. 'Cause
Bisexual
in my
is gay
opinion, I think
me.
yes, I think, and I would never. I personally would never feel secure that I'm what you want.
Yeah.
You know, because it's just too much going on, and no, I couldn't.
Well,
do it.
I don't. I honestly can say I don't understand bisexuality. I can look at all you women today and say you are beautiful and don't desire to be
Right.
with you at all sexually,
Yeah,
like at all. And so therefore, I don't really get it. Like I don't get it. And so, like you said, I don't know that I'm actually her for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's okay. You know, you can be the man that you all the man you want to be.
Yeah.
Just not with me if
Right.
you like to be with men as well.
Exactly.
And I don't think that bisexual is gay. I think that there are men who like to
Bisexual
sleep.
is not gay. Yeah, it's not.
I think there are men who like to sleep with men
Severely
for
confused.
whatever it is. And I think there are women that like to sleep with women for whatever it is they're
That's
going
true, too.
for. And you know, they want to love on everybody.
Right.
And that's cool for you. That's just not my tea. That's not my tea.
And I
My
think,
tea.
I think some of it stems from more than just the sexuality, like the bisexual or lesbian and gay. I think they're looking for a higher need. I know this is going all the way left, but I think they're looking for a higher need.
Maybe.
So we're not gonna agitate the
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
big
know.
community.
I mean,
We're
I guess
gonna come
because
back.
none of us here are in
Yeah.
that position,
So we
then I
can
really
never
can't
really-
speak on it. I
Right.
just can't speak on it. I don't understand it. So
It's just not for you.
Right.
Yeah.
my tea says I like crystal only.
What about
That's it.
Camp? Did you answer? What about you?
Oh, y'all know that's what unequivocal no.
Okay. It's in there.
What about the
I'ma just stir in the pot on
the
that one.
So what if he says that he was and now he's not anymore? He was just curious.
That's like on
bi-curious.
the Issa Rae,
Oh,
one
really?
of their episodes that they
I-
had the guy before he had been and she, but like I said, you're everything you're suspect of, because you're not comfortable with it, and mainly because you may not understand.
Right.
I think that if you're in that community, you have a greater understanding of those people's needs. I am firmly in the H community. I'm a heterosexual, and so I don't understand it, and I'm not open to really trying to. I believe that people's sexuality is for them,
Their
and I
private
leave it
business.
right there.
Yeah.
Right.
When it comes to me and my house,
Yeah.
And you know
I
what,
just-
too?
it doesn't work for
I
me.
guess for me, the relationships that I've formed with all of you all had absolutely nothing to do with sex
Yeah.
right?
at all. So who I sleep with
It's not my
is
business.
not
Right.
anybody's
And we
business.
really we had that a while ago when someone came to us with something about one of our friends, and they was thinking they was spilling tea. They was like, "Oh, well, you know, she go both ways," and I'm like, "I don't give a fuck."
That don't have nothing to
That's
do
her
with me.
personal business.
I have friends.
I
who
don't
go
sleep with
ways.
her, and that's
We
my
can
point.
get in the bed
She's not-
together,
thank you.
and
She's not,
not even
in
worried.
my bed
Right.
in
Yeah.
that way. So
Right.
I don't care
Right.
what she does,
Right.
and it doesn't change my
Perspective
on her.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
But the
It's
thing
just
is,
not-
but
that's
then
for me in my
then
house.
we did
Yeah.
ask that friend
Uh-huh.
because we didn't ever want her to be uncomfortable
Yeah.
if that was how she was feeling, and it wasn't to get into her business or to know what she's doing or has she been lying, you know. But it's like we love her, and so
Right.
we don't want you to feel uncomfortable. So is this actually what's happening? Because somebody, you know, knocked over a cup and said this is what it was in
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Is this true? And she's like, no, it's not. But the thing is,
you would have accepted her.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's how I am.
Our love for her
Right.
would not have changed
Right.
at all.
Right.
It was just trying to make sure she's okay.
Right.
Comfortable.
Yeah, because someone who we thought was in her camp obviously should
Wasn't.
not have been. Yeah, there's a thief in the camp.
I'm gonna say no for me, maybe because I'm not in the community or anything. But the first thing I think about when I hear that topic is the health risk.
Okay.
HIV and AIDS, and maybe it's my own personal stereotype of that community, and if it is, then I apologize, but it's the first thing that I think about is I don't want to put myself in that position to be at risk with the health
I think if
situation.
you don't wear a condom or you don't practice safe sex,
You don't practice safe
and
sex
even the sad thing
at
is,
any point.
in
Yeah.
marriage, you have to go in and have that monogamy conversation
Right.
of really, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I get what you're saying, and I think that is something that is typically is a stigma that is attached to that community. But we can look at just statistics and know that that's
Down low
not
brothers are bringing
quite-
it home to their wives.
That's not true.
Yeah.
I think that that's not true. I think that it's not necessarily down low brothers. I
No.
think it's
I
think it's Keisha, Taiwan,
Everybody's mixing.
Bertha, all of these people having unprotected sex with
Yeah.
each other, and somebody done caught it, and because
It's just spreading.
you look healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
And so it's
if you're able to sleep with somebody, y'all should be able to have the conversation about say sex
tested.
and see who if
They got so
if
many
it's
different-
just y'all two sleeping together or they're sleeping with other
Right.
people.
Right.
If you're sleeping with them, it should be an open conversation.
Right.
Yes, it may be awkward for some people because they may not have necessarily a relationship, but hey, it's something that to be talked about and discussed.
Right.
If you want to see my vagina, I need to see your results.
Yeah.
It's just that simple for me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
I
just,
got the app.
right.
Kelsey.
For real.
It's super easy.
Get tested.
It's super
worth
easy.
it.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
Super
So,
easy.
yeah.
What do y'all think about the myth that assertive women or women with standards are considered bitches? Is that a myth? Is it true?
I think women, with a certain, if they hold a sense of power and stuff, and that could come off as being bitchy, but not necessarily. Not all of them.
I'm
And-
assertive.
Uh-huh.
I'm a very assertive woman.
Mhm.
But I've had to learn how to temper that at home.
Yeah.
Because I can be a bitch.
Mhm.
So I'll own that.
But I don't think all women that are assertive are bitches. But I mean, I don't know.
I think sometimes we are assertive so that our voices aren't lost in the room.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if we're sitting in a room of male-dominated field, or even at home. We want to be heard too.
Yeah.
We don't want our voices to fall on deaf ears. So I don't think it's necessarily being a bitch. I think sometimes we just need to speak up,
Yeah.
and that's all. That's all, and it's misconstrued.
You can be assertive and still be nice, but at the same time, you don't want to minimize your power.
Right.
If you have something to say, then say it.
Yeah.
We got two more. I'm going to try to get to them real quick.
Okay.
First dates have to be expensive to make an impression.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I feel like if you are spending a lot of money on a first date and we don't even really know each other that well, that you're overcompensating for
Right.
something.
That
We
you're
can have-
lacking.
You're lacking. I'm
Or
totally.
you're masking something.
You're right. I'm totally okay with
Yeah,
us
ain't
sitting
tricking if you got it.
down. I don't like coffee. I like hot chocolate and I like tea. We can meet, have a drink, have a conversation,
Hey.
and decide if we even want to spend.
In this day and age, you have me at hello with the date because it's Netflix and chill or let me come to your house and I'm going to pull up. That's just really discounted our value. People
Right.
don't want to date anymore or want to
Yeah.
go anywhere. So, I
Right.
mean, and to me, dating is good. I'm bored. I can do the museum. I can do it's. For me, it's not the dollars and the monies because I got my own money.
Right.
Yeah. Not a lot, but I can
Right.
maintain myself.
Right.
Right.
But to me, it's more the thought process
The
that you put in, the time and effort that you put in,
Right.
that I'm more impressed with.
And to me, it really helps when you ask to go out on a date, not just text me, hey, can we do this?
Right.
Open your mouth and speak to a lady.
Right.
Hey, set plans,
Right.
not the last
Ask
minute.
for my time.
Ask for my time, not the last minute, hey,
What you doing?
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to be a seat filler.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
I'd
right,
much rather be interested in you than be impressed by you.
Yeah.
right. Good.
I have certain standards.
Mhm.
So I'm not going to say you have to spend a lot of money, but I will say that you can't get away with being lazy. If you've asked me for my time and I have granted you that time, I need you to have a plan that is thoughtful. Ask me what I like to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, just like you said, there's numerous options out there. I like coffee. I like aquariums. I like zoos. I like parks.
Right.
It's many things that you don't necessarily have to spend money for. But if you feel like, and I feel like a lot of men have that mentality, well, I don't know you, so I'm not making investments. So, hey, meet me for happy hour at this bar. Or
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you to Chili's. I don't like Chili's, and I'm just not going nowhere. I don't want to eat it.
I'm not a brown bag kind of girl. I'm just not. I'm not a brown bag girl. I'm not a type of girl that, if we're going somewhere and it says thank you on the bag, that's really just not my thing.
Right.
I've been knife and forking it for a while, and so that's kind of the life I live. And I'm not asking you to maintain this life today on the first date, but I need you to know the type of woman I am so that I'm not offended by you trying to get me some
Right.
broiled chicken at the gas station.
I'm not eating it.
you got me
That actually
totally
did
fucked
happen.
up. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what's
Yeah.
going to happen. I'm not having that. And I feel like that's a sign of disrespect, because that means that you really did not take the time to
Right.
know who I am.
You didn't put any thought into it.
Right.
And so I don't think it takes money.
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
it takes thoughtfulness,
Efforts,
and
intentions.
effort. Right.
Right.
And it really shows into, like she said, ask me for my time, make a plan to use my time thoughtfully and wisely, have a conversation with me, let's get to know one another. And here's the thing, show up on time.
Yeah.
Do what you
Oh,
said
yes.
you're going to do.
Yeah, be accountable.
Right.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
And if you're not available, say that.
Say that.
certainly,
Communicate.
respect my time. Right.
Communicate.
Right.
Yes.
And not a text, because if
Yes.
you can't ask me out on a date by text, so
No.
you can't cancel a date with me.
Right.
Call me. Let
Unless
me know
you
what's
plan on going on my block list, which is very strong.
Yeah.
So our last one is women empowerment comes at the expense of men.
Now, that's interesting. Women's empowerment comes at the expense of men.
So I guess basically, as women, especially black women, are becoming more empowered, they feel, black men feel like they're being.
I think that makes it sound like they're doing us a favor. I think it's a myth. I think we work on our own, and we have our own goals, and we work hard, and we achieve them. I think the two are not the same. I think they're totally separate.
I think it puts pressure and the boot on their neck to level up. Like I said before, it's more women that are getting educated. You know, their moms and still going to school and getting their own thing, and are waiting. You know, so this side chick culture have made men lazy.
Speak.
And that the plan B. So
Yeah.
when I don't want to have to be held accountable, or if I don't want to have to meet her at the table that
Right.
we're supposed to be doing, then I just go over here with her and sit on her couch, and she gonna make some nachos, and then that's okay. So I think it's personal for them, instead of just saying, hey, I got this chick, she down, and hey, because that's what you said in the beginning. I need somebody that's down, and here and there, and less drama and make money. But I think and the side chicks too have made it easy for them and acceptable to do just enough.
Yeah.
And they reward that behavior. So now it's like we're nagging, we're begging, or they don't have to put up with that because they can just go out the door,
Yeah.
and should just take whatever, just seeing him at whatever cost, anytime, of the night. So I don't agree with that. I think you lose your own power when you don't maintain your value.
I
Yes.
think that men lose their power when they lose their position. My thing is, women empowerment, you should be at the very backbone of that. Who does not want their woman to succeed? Two-parent household. I never saw my dad try to suppress my mother's success. He was at the very backbone of that. Whatever she needed, if it was, Lord help us, combing our hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all used to go to school with my skin in my ponytails. He used to hold it so tight. Picking us up, keeping your kids. It's not babysitting your own children. Like that is
Right.
something that I think people. And so my thing is, for men, you're losing your part. It's not women empowerment. You should be empowering your women. You should empower your wives. You empower. My dad did a good job. Like I tell people all the time, oh, you're an independent woman. Y'all know I didn't get that from my mom.
Right.
I was
got it
raised
from
in a
my dad.
two-parent household.
Me too.
So my mom, I grew up with a mom who still fixes my dad's breakfast and plate.
Yes.
Like old school.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's always worked.
Right.
So, my dad had asked him when the last time he cooked.
Right.
Washed the clothes,
Yeah.
washed anything. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So very old school, very, gender role specific type of household. My dad was always the leader. But my dad taught me not to depend on anybody, not just a
Right.
man.
Right.
You don't depend on anybody for anything. You always do it. My mom actually taught me, if you have a man, this is his role. And if he can't do it, then you can do it by yourself. Don't
Right.
have anybody that's just going to be, you know what I'm
Laying
saying?
on
Taking up space.
Dragging
Right.
you down. So, shout out to Larry and Darlene.
Yes.
Yeah. But, I think that is part of the problem, that men take a passive role and they are not. You should be leading that.
Right.
There's nothing you shouldn't. That
Her
it
biggest
shouldn't be
cheerleader.
a threat. Right. It shouldn't be a threat to you.
Right, because it's beneficial for both you and her.
Yeah, you got stronger women, you have stronger men, you
Yeah.
got stronger children, you have a stronger family,
Right.
you have a stronger community.
The whole dynamic.
All of it.
It grows.
But that
I'm
also
seeing the
goes
shift,
back
too.
to your real intentions, though, because there's a lot of people just wolves in sheep clothing. So their real intention is not to grow with this woman and build and create this legacy.
It's more
So
to benefit.
that's why when the pressure is on, or if you see her progressing and rising, it's like, oh, okay, well, I know I ain't gonna be able to level up. Let me go and duck out, exit right quick with someone that's okay with it right now
Sabotage.
to just me being here.
So to
Yeah.
sabotage
Yeah.
the relationship
Right.
rather than
Right.
be there for
Step
it.
up.
Yeah.
And the shift that I'm seeing is that some men are expecting it from their women to do better, but once they do, sometimes they just kind of give up.
Right.
They
Okay.
stay where they are and they get complacent, and then the blame is on us.
Oh, you
Because
think
we
you
were-
all that because
Yeah.
you're the boss at your job.
Right, but at the same time, if I wasn't, you wouldn't want me.
Right.
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 Well, in closing, we'll wrap up. I want to say thank you for the RoyalTea Podcast. We want to say happy Valentine's to the guys and to the lovers out there and everyone, because love is good all the way around for everyone.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for our guests.
And Tara has some ball gags and whips and chains.
Woo, woo,
Just in
woo.
case. Her hashtag is at Miss T. I do believe that's how you can